PBS. It was not Fox News. It was the Final Call newspaper of the Nation of Islam that broke the story nationally. It was then that Reverend Sharpton got a phone call on his radio station and said, Reverend Sharpton, have you read the Final Call about the Gina 6? It was then that Jesse Jackson got involved. But what happened was the Millions More movement held a rally there in August. Held a rally, actually it was in July, where over 300 persons showed up and they held a rally. And that was what was written of in the Final Call newspaper. So the Millions More movement, right out of here, out of Houston, the Ministry of Justice, headed by Brother Derek Muhammad, went down to Gina, met with the families. It was covered by Brother Jesse Muhammad. They held a rally for 300. That went national, and when that went national, that's when it took off. And it was among the young people using YouTube and using text messaging and using email and using freeconferencecall.com who organized the black colleges, and then it was Hispanic and white youth who also got in the mix, but it was mostly the black youth from the historically black colleges and universities who rolled down there like thunder. Man, if anybody tells you anything less than 50,000 people, they once again are lying. It's the same person that was counting at the Million Man March said there was like 400,000. That same one, that man should lose his job.
There's a couple of things that you just said, and one of the things is social media on the internet. And it seems like we are getting a pretty darn good control, especially the younger generation, a handle on exactly how to handle the internet and use it for our benefit. Just like when Panama had their invasion, and I was with some people here, not here, but in New York, who had family in Panama, and they were calling via cell phone. The whole war was being conducted by cell phones and fax machines. It was like incredible, the way people were trying to unite and organize themselves right there in Panama City, Panama, and Colón, you know. So when you say to me that social media, once again, via the internet, meaning YouTube, MySpace, Facebook, Flickr, you know, and all the others that they have out there, using that, and that is very profound, because that is exactly where we are.
Yes.
That is exactly where we are. So now my reason also for asking you to come here this evening is because you have that ability to give me the paradigm shift. You have that ability to give me the objective opinion. So my thought is, the young man, why is he becoming the sacrificial lamb?
Well, let's deal with it. First of all,
Okay.
a fight took place.
Okay.
But what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad always teaches us, we must go to the root of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And at the root of that fight, it actually took place, the root of it actually goes back to 2006. Because what happened was, there was a tree that was known as the white tree there at the Gina High School. And this was a tree that only white students could sit under. Large, beautiful oak tree with branches spread out, beautiful shade tree. And the black freshman student says, why can't we sit on that tree? And the principal said, listen, they went to authority and they asked authority, why can't we sit under that tree? They said, you can sit anywhere you want to. They sat under that tree. And when they sat under that tree the next day, there were nooses hung from that tree. Now, I don't know about you, and you could call it a childhood prank if you want to. What do you mean childhood prank? Do you know what a noose means to a black man?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever read 100 Years of Lynching?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever read Without Sanctuary?
Mm-hmm.
Who taught those children that that was funny to anybody, especially black people? We were burned at stakes, we were lynched, we were murdered, and the noose was the way that the Ku Klux Klan and the Citizens Council and the Night Riders dealt with us. They hung us from trees. They murdered us. That's Billie Holiday's song, Strange Fruit. Mm-hmm. It's based upon the people she saw lynched from the trees. So how is this a childhood prank? And when the children were upset about it and then protested the way that those children were not expelled from school as the principal wanted it to. So he tried to do the right thing. The superintendent overruled it. The district attorney, Reed Walters, in fact, is the general counsel for the school board. So They didn't expel the children, so the children then protested. And when they protested, Reed Walters walked in with law enforcement into the school and said, I can be your best friend or your worst enemy. I can take away your life with the stroke of a pen.